All right, so this might be a short one, but I wanted to update everybody on what I've been doing, where the channel's going. I am in my garage right now, and it dawned on me, I've not had a garage my entire adult life. I mean, it's been, my parents had a garage, but I haven't had one since I've left the house at 18. And I changed my oil in the truck yesterday, maybe a week ago. The days are flying by. I just had this realization that I'm changing the oil in my truck indoors for the first time, maybe ever. So anyways, life is good. I put AMSOIL in the truck. I've got about 156,000 miles on the 2001 Ford F-150. It's the XLT 4-door. And I'm thinking about switching up to 5W30 from 5W20. Noticed it's burning just a little bit of oil. I noticed just a little bit of depletion of the oil in between changes. So anyways, we're gonna run it with 5W30, probably the next oil change. But you'll notice what's behind me here. I have been loving Wisconsin and the old tools that are in this state. It's incredible. I didn't realize that Wisconsin has been a state for, it's been a state for a while, but there were people here and there was industry here for far longer than it's been a state. Probably the 1820s, 1830s, there were full-blown logging operations in the north of Wisconsin, getting that white pine. And the history of logging in Wisconsin, I think, is amazing. It is absolutely incredible. I got a book at the library about logging in Wisconsin. And check this out. While I'm doing this, I picked up the Singer sewing machine base. And it's in the nicest condition. Check this out. Yeah, check out my garage too. It's in the nicest condition of any Singer sewing machine base I have ever seen. Check this out. Look at how smooth that wheel is. Anyways, if you're looking for a project, a woodworking project to make a good bit of money, not like $1 billion. Hey, Joey. Hey, Brian. You know, Killinger said I should do a live, and I thought I'm going to do a quick one. So I'm going to be on here. I don't know how long, but it's good seeing you guys. I got this sewing machine base here, and I was going to say I have found it's a great project, a really great project, and an easy project to laminate a top. For these sewing machine bases, and they're popular. They're so popular. I got this for $15. I don't know if you saw the sticker on here, but I picked this one up for 15 bucks. I got one in the corner for free, and I picked up another one. I think I spent $10 on it. This is 15 bucks. I got at the Habitat Restore. And people love them because they can go in anybody's house. I mean, they can go in really any kind of decor. And I really like that the wheels go horizontal. So anyways, I got some wood that I'm going to do there. I picked up some amazing tools while I'm here. And I don't know, I'm kind of shifting from my logs and my lumber and chainsaw milling into, I think, maybe more of my furniture building and carpentry. I got this Stanley 45 yesterday. Incredible tool. I'm restoring it, and I've got it came with 2 Stanley 45s. So anyways, I'm in Wisconsin. I just wanted to pop in to say hi to everybody. I've got some cool tools in the back that I want to do a video on. That right there is a boring machine. Yeah, Habitat Restore is oh, you built a house with them. That's incredible. What's up, Jackie? I have always, in the back of my mind, thought I should go and volunteer building some houses with them. It seems like it'd be just a great experience. And I have shopped there for years now, and it's made a huge difference in my life. I mean, I rehabbed probably half of the stuff. No, more than half at times. done 2 homes with almost entirely Habitat Restore stuff. I mean, and they were smaller homes, and their flooring section was amazing because I could go to Habitat Restore, and you can find some really nice bundles of leftover flooring. And in one case, this must have been a huge house because they had 5 or 6 bundles of walnut engineered hardwood flooring. And I bought every bundle that they had, and I was 2 bundles short. And so I found the same groove pattern, same manufacturer. I think it was Mohawk, or I can't remember who. And I ended up making a border around the room in one color and the center in another. And then I had to, oh man, for the closet, I was running real short. I was putting in little pieces in the closet. So, but anyways, it worked out great, and it was so cheap. I mean, this was probably 2015 or maybe 2016. I saved thousands of dollars at Habitat Restore when I redid that house. And we got light fixtures, plumbing fixtures, I mean, just everything from Habitat Restore. You know, I always thought if I ever make $1 bajillion one day, and I'm 85 years old and I'm on my deathbed, like, I'm giving money to the Habitat Restore, or the Habitat for Humanity, rather, because they are such a great organization. But, you know, so anyways, we're in Wisconsin. Technically, I'm just a little bit outside. I'm not in any city. I'm in an unincorporated area, and that's where I was when I was in Atlanta. I was just outside of Atlanta. I wasn't in any, they call it unincorporated DeKalb County. That's where I was in Atlanta. And I just could not wait to get out of Atlanta. That city was eating me up from the inside. It was, I love Georgia. I just dearly love Georgia. I could have lived the rest of my life in North Georgia and been so happy. But Atlanta was miserable. Atlanta was just awful. And I realize now, I'm realizing how that city impacted me by leaving it. And you go to some place where it's a smaller area, you just have a different work ethic, you have a different society, and it's just, anyways, it's just better. A housewarming gift, Joey. Man, you've already been too great. Hey, I don't know if you saw, but I used your Thuringian stones the other day, sharpening up some knives. They were one of the first things that I unpacked in my garage as the box. It was one of the first boxes I unpacked. And that Thuringian stone is amazing. I got it flattened. I made a box for it. I think I sent you a picture, but maybe not. I need to send you one if I didn't. So anyways, dude, like, yeah, we're doing great now. We're in a great place. I don't think where I'm at, I can, I say log, but what I mean is have a bunch of logs lying around. It's just not quite the place for that anymore. So I'm looking for space nearby where I can have a full-blown setup. And with the channel, I want to tilt into bandsaw milling, still do my chainsaw milling. I want to have a shop, like a full-blown shop. Eventually, I want to work up to having a kiln. And if you guys know out of the woods what he does, I'd like to do something very similar. I really want to take that up. I want to get into timber framing. All of that is in the future. So, solar. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Solar would be amazing. Although in Wisconsin, I don't know about the sun here. Anyways, that'd be cool. So guys, before we go, I want to show you some cool old molding planes plus a tool that I have never seen in my life. I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen it. I didn't know it existed. And honestly, I have no idea how to use it. It was patented, I believe, in 1885. And it's been driving me nuts trying to figure out what this tool is over the last probably 2 or 3 days. I'm going to grab it. All right. So check this out. So these here, if anybody knows what these are, and how they're used, well, I know what they are now, but I don't know how they're used, you will have my eternal gratitude. So I picked these up in actually where I got all these other tools here. And I got it. This guy was a barn builder in Wisconsin all the way back to the 1800s. I got these tools from a gentleman about 75 or so, and he said these tools were his grandfather's. And I believe them based on the patents. But check these out. These are brass, solid brass. I don't know if you can see this patent date there, but it says patent July 14 of 85. And that's not 1985, that's 1885. So these are old tools. And you look at that little slit that they have here. That's for the edge of your draw knife. 1885. Isn't that amazing? Like, I am blown away that this tool is in the condition that it's in. So this slides onto your draw knife, and then there's a screw in the back that, oh, and I got to go all the way back out. There we go, before I go in. And, oh, I think they go in the middle. I have no real scientific backing to that, but if it's a chamfer gauge, and this is a sharp draw knife, so I'm trying not to slice my hand open. So they fit on the back like this. At least that's how they all are in the pictures that I've looked up. But the thing is, I mean, people don't know what these tools do anymore because we have lost that connection to the history. So here's what I think they do. I saw one video. Look at that. This is how I think they go. I saw a video totally randomly on one of these old kind of weird forums and websites with like old black and white tool documentaries and trade, craft documentaries. Chris, what's up, man? I am. You got me live. I figured I should pop in and just say hi to everybody. I'm talking about these old tools here. I think they're used for coopers making barrels. I think they would be used to shape the outside of the barrel so you can have an even chamfer. I don't know, because the reason that I think that is because you can't get a good chamfer. Oh, holy cow. Actually, nothing to do with barrels. Wow, that's how they're used. Okay, yeah, that's how they're used. All right, so do you see how this sits? But the thing is, I don't know why someone would use a draw knife over a spoke shave for this. Spoke guides. Oh, okay. Brian, what do you? How would these be used? Am I onto something here? Because I just totally randomly put it on here, assuming. Would that? I mean, if I put it on the edge like this, that might be it. Wow. Let me get a piece of wood. All right, we're doing this live. We'll do it live. In the immortal words of Bill O'Reilly. Okay, so if I put it on the edge here, well, and of course I need a clamp, but I don't have one. So, okay. Let's see if I can. Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, I figured out how these are used, or maybe I didn't accidentally. It's nothing through me. You can put a nice even chamfer on there. And now the one thing that I think is interesting, and this is just really junky pine. It splinters horribly, so it's not. Wow, look at that chamfer on there. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Look at that. I mean, that's an even chamfer with the draw knife. That's the most even chamfer with the draw knife I've ever gotten. That's incredible. Incredible. I don't know, though, why you would use these tools on a draw knife versus a spoke shave. I guess in theory you can get a more consistent chamfer with a draw knife, and maybe you can get after it a little bit more. But that's incredible, unbelievable. I mean, I love that, and I would not have figured that out if I didn't hop on live. So anyways, I'm glad I'm here. Bigger cut. Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. You know, and the thing is too, one thing that I read is, so this guy was a barn builder in Wisconsin. That's all he did. This gentleman's grandfather and great-grandfather, these tools belong to him, and I think his father maybe at some point might have used them. This is the cleanest collection of tools I have ever found, and I don't mean like they're not dirty. I just mean this guy was a barn builder, and every single tool that was in this lot of tools relates to barn building. Usually, I'll pick up a set of old tools, and it's in a Rubbermaid 50, you know, whatever gallon container, or, you know, Rubbermaid tote. And there's going to be carpentry, electrician stuff. There's going to just old things. People collect old things and they put old things together. This was this gentleman's toolbox. Yeah, random thrown together. And this was not random thrown together. This was everything relating to barn building, from that boring machine to a beam compass. I mean, this is the nicest beam compass that I personally have ever seen. It's brass, and this pin here is hardened. And it's interesting how much this wood has shrunk. These are loose. You can max out the threads, and it won't tighten on the beam. That's how old this wood is. It has a hag's tooth router. Look at that. Check this out. Look at how rudimentary this is. I mean, this guy, he was amazing. All of these tools were put together for building barns. About the only things that he had that were not exclusively barn building were molding planes. And I mean, I guess, I don't know if, I imagine if you build barns, you probably build other things that need trim too. So maybe he did some carpentry work in houses. And let me show you my favorite one. Look at this pattern here. Look at that. This would be casing. I think it would be casing for a door. And it's just incredible. Now these were from, I believe these were from Wales or maybe Scotland. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. Here, let me see without knocking everything down. These are, some of them were from England. A couple of them were a company, I can't remember it. It's too dark in here to see it right now. But they're from all over. They're extremely high quality planes. Could be windows too. Yeah, casing for doors and windows and things like that. What's up, yo mama? Some people would throw it away because they don't know what it is or how to use it. Oh, I know. And I was talking with an old guy, like an old curmudgeon. And this guy, I would bet he came out of the womb, an old curmudgeon. And he was a carpenter for just years and years and years. And he was telling me about how these old molding planes during World War II, especially in England, they were all barreled up and sent to be used as fuel to replace coal in the war industry. You know, because they didn't have guys that could go leave the front lines in England to go mine coal. And these wood planes have so much energy in them, so much heat energy, that they were all burned by the millions of barrels. And then in the 70s, when the energy crisis hit, there were more of them burned for heat. You know, we had guys in the US that were heating their homes with fuel oil that really, really struggled in the 70s. You've got Grandpa's old wood planes. burn those, you know? And so it's amazing to have a couple of sets of nice ones. I got, let's see, I got a couple of cool saw sets. Those Stanley 45s I think are really, really special. I've got this one here, and then I've got this one here, and I have a complete set of the cutters, which I think is wild. I mean, this guy, and I got the whole set, the whole lot of tools. You know, what do you think? What do you think it cost? You know, like you look at those boring machines back there, those beam drills, and then all the planes, and oh, here, I'll show you another plane. So check this guy out. So I got this one back in service. I absolutely cut the snot out of my finger. I was planing a board, and I guess I got used to using my Stanley Bailey planes, and I can kind of put my finger under it to get a good 90-degree edge when I'm jointing a board. But this cutter it's got a much wider mouth than my old planes, and I pushed my finger into the iron and I cut it so deep. I got this guy the other day too. Look at this. Now this one here, if you ever want to know how old a plane is, and you look at the iron, if it's a single iron, it's almost always before probably 1865. So I got this guy here. This is a Providence Tool Company. And I had to do a little bit of work to get it cleaned up, but it does great. I paid, so we had a guest for 200 thousands. Yes, I paid $50. And you know, the thing is, like I kind of felt bad for the guy because you're selling your great grandfather's tools, you know? I have in my parents' basement, I think 2 planes from my great grandfather, who was a violin maker, and he was an electrician his whole life. He was in the trades his entire life. He is from an older generation than a lot of people my age, their great grandfathers. He was told that he was too old to fight in World War I. So he was old. I mean, he was born in the 1800s. I have 2 planes of his, and I cannot imagine selling them under any circumstances. And so for this guy to sell his, you know, family tools, granted, he was not storing them well. I've spent probably the last 2 or 3 days soaking them in rust remover. I want to get electrolysis set up again, but until I can do that, I'm using rust remover. Evaporust, and I'm cleaning them up, cleaning out the threads, getting the seized parts unseized. I mean, he was not really caring for them, and so I don't necessarily feel bad. Like, I kind of feel that I rescued them in a way, because I'm going to use these. There's a really, really old tradition of timber framing in Wisconsin. And I want to take part in it. I want to do that. Were they electric planes? Nope, entirely everything manual, everything arm powered. Yeah. So, and this is the other. I think this is one of the most interesting tools. Look at this. Look at how long this gouge is. I have never seen a gouge this long, ever. This is, I mean, how long would this be? I think this is 26 inches, my plane. This is a 20-inch long plane. It's darn near 2 foot. I don't know what it is. I don't know what purpose a gouge this long would be for. I mean, I'm fascinated by it. Oh, hey, does anybody know what this old tool is? I've got it soaking in a vat of rust remover. Does anybody know what this is? Anybody? They would be cool to see. I've never seen one that did. Oh, yeah. Never seen one. Right. So anybody know what that tool is? This is a pipe cutter. It's really neat. I mean, I love getting into the old, let's see, I don't want to get that sewing machine all busted up. Let me get my, here's another old tool that I got. I got an old grinding wheel. But all right, so this is a pipe cutter. It's a little bit jammed right now, but I don't know what kind of pipe this would be for. I mean, I suppose any kind of pipe that you could fit in it. Stationary bolt down pipe cutter. Holy cow, that sounds like the official name. Bolt down pipe cutter, yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And I tell you what, I did not know that that was the name of it. Now I do. As far as I can tell, there's, and I don't really know how it would cut, to be honest. I'd have to put a pipe in there to see, because it doesn't look like there's something capable of cutting pipe in the jaws of the machine. And I don't have any pipe to cut it with. And man, I would think it would smash it, to be honest, but I don't know. And I also don't know what this is here. Is that some sort of quick release? Maybe that's what that is. Anyways, hey, I'm going to change the name of this live to watch me screw around with tools I don't know what they do. It's probably for old cast iron, just pops it. Oh, okay. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I mean, that's a good point too. You know what I have to keep remembering? Oh yeah, okay. So that's like a quick release. So look at how that works there. Everything is so incredibly heavy duty. I'm just floored by everything being so industrial. Yeah, look at that. What I thought would be neat for this, I've got it soaking in rust remover, is to get it all clean and then repaint it. I saw one of these a long time ago where somebody hand lettered gold over the, they hand lettered gold over the letters. Well, that's kind of obvious. That was an unintelligent way to say that. They hand lettered the letters in gold paint. So, all right, I'm going to put that back in the rust remover. I got to screw it down further. But anyway, so we are in Wisconsin. I got a couple of leads on guys that I can take part in some timber framing projects for. And they're apparently good guys that will, I suppose if somebody was a complete newbie, maybe not be super tolerant of having them around, but if you've already got some experience in the trades and you got a decent head on your shoulders, they'll kind of help you along with timber framing. So there's a couple of guys here that I'm going to try to get in good with, and then we'll see where that goes. I also in the box was this is a Stanley number 80. And the guy had a plane iron sitting on the top. And I looked at that and I thought, he doesn't know what this is. It's a scraper, card scraper. You'd throw a card scraper on the top, and then you can take finish off. But all right, let me see. I want to show you that boring machine. Let me show you that. All right, check this out. Let's see, are we too close? I don't know, we might be too close. I'm gonna move you back a little bit. All right, check this out here. So, came with 2 bits. Watch this. So, this is basically the mechanism. There's a spring up at the top, and I'm gonna try not to drill into my, there we go. I really should have a piece of wood here. Let me see if I can throw a piece of wood under there. All right, so I've got a piece of wood there. the basic mechanism, and the worm, the screw on the front needs to be sharpened. So it's not wanting to cut terribly well in. Sometimes with this version, you do have to give it a little help. You do have to push down. And obviously I'm only using one hand here. But, so this is gonna cut a huge hole. And then once you're all the way to the bottom, there's a gear here that you slide over. Everything is according to this gear. And then once you slide the gear over, once you get out of the, there you go. Once you get out of the hole, it'll bring you back up and collect itself. So this is a fascinating piece of equipment. It's adjustable to any angle you want with the guide rails here. So I can grab my wrench, and if I want to do a 45, let's see. All right. If I want to do a 45, oh, it's jammed. I haven't really gotten into this yet, so I don't want to strip anything, but I think I can just kind of loosen that enough. You know, he put some new gaskets in there, and I'm pretty sure he left material from the gaskets in this box of tools. So look at that. That's how it stores flat. So you can do any angle you want. You can go up to 90 and even beyond. You know, you look at how that works, and it needs some cleanup. But it is an incredible tool. And I have a Miller's Falls #1 coming. Miller's Falls made a couple different boring machines, beam drills. And if you can get those Miller's Falls machines, those are top of the line. Absolutely top of the line. Those Miller's Falls machines are unbelievable. The level of engineering and technology that went into them is wild. I looked it up. I looked up what you could buy these for brand new. The Miller's Falls ones were sold up until maybe maybe 20 or so, maybe a little later, around that time period. And they would have cost just a few $100. And I was thinking to myself, imagine being on a job site 120 years ago. Let's see, I tried to, 940 Joey says, I tried to buy a boring machine at a flea market a few weeks ago and it needed some work. And the guy wouldn't budge off $200. Ouch. $200 for that. Yeah, especially if it needs some work. That's expensive, isn't it? But people see old stuff and they think old stuff is valuable. And it's like, why? You know, I want to talk to people and be like, in your mind, why is this worth $200, $500, $800? Why? I see stuff that's priced crazy all the time, and I don't understand it. I think some people think more people than really do decorate with this stuff. You know, they'll say man cave. It can be buyer's market. Yeah, and then on the flip side, Brian, you're right. Like you go, and I got all this for $50. You know, it just depends on the interaction, right? Doesn't it? I mean, it really depends on whether I'm trying to buy stuff or someone's trying to get rid of stuff. You know, on eBay, yeah, you're gonna pay out the nose for that stuff, absolutely. But this guy was trying to get rid of these tools, and he didn't want to throw them away because they were kind of sentimental, and so I was able to get them cheap. I got this grinding wheel I paid a little bit more for the grinding wheel. I paid $75 for the grinding wheel. But the reason I did that is because it still has the water trough, which I think is kind of cool. It came with 2 stones, and it's got the water trough, and it's completely functional. All I did is take apart the bearings, re-grease them, I repacked them with grease, and painted the outside. And now it is, check this out. Well, maybe you can't just right now. Here, let me unplug that. Look at this. You know what I did? I had my kids out here, and I had one of them turn the wheel. I had another one hold a bottle with water in it. I poked a hole in the top of the bottle, the cap of the bottle, and he was dripping water over the top, and I was sharpening tools and stuff. I painted it. I cleaned it up real nice, and it does kind of look brand new, doesn't it? I was real worried about the color of the paint. I went to Fleet Farm and I bought some barn and fence paint, and it went on really red. It looked like a toolbox, like toolbox red. And I just thought, oh boy, I kind of liked the muted red, the more brown red. And sure enough, it dried perfect. It dried really, really nice. So anyways, I also don't know what this tool is. If anybody knows what this is, for a minute, I was thinking it would be for lifting up lids, like if you're cooking with a Dutch oven over a fire. But I don't think there's enough of a hook there. Wouldn't you want more of a hook if you're, say, lifting the lid off of a Dutch oven and it's all piping hot from a fire? So there's all kinds of fascinations in here. I don't know what a lot of this is, but this is complicated to forge. Have you tried sharpening an axe with that wheel? Hey, Joey, what's up, man? Not yet. I actually haven't unpacked my axes. There were a couple axes that I kind of shipped separately, packed separately. I have my Liam Hoffman, the farm axe, and I have the axe that I got from Nicholas Downing that I had him forge, the Coachmaker's axe. And I have those two, and that's it. But I cannot wait to sharpen an axe with this wheel. It's just amazing. This thing, whoa. Hey, good thing I caught you, but I hit you with the handle. It turns so nicely. It really does. And it's got bearings in it. So once you get it going, it kind of wants to keep going on its own. At some point, I think somebody had a motor to it. They hooked up a motor. Flipping steaks. Yeah, there we go. But look at the forging details. It's twisted here, and twisted here. And these are all different twists. So you look at the smaller twist with more per inch than here, and then up here, and then it's different thickness. It tapers down. So somebody hand forged this, and they spent quite a lot of time on it. And I don't know what it does. It's really neat, though. If I grind the hook off of it, it'd be a heck of a throwing implement. But I'm not going to do that. So, anyways, let's see. What else do we have here? I don't know. I just wanted to pop in. I miss you guys. Is that weird to say? I have been for the last year absolutely floundering because out of the last 5 years, I spent the first 4 acquiring stuff and getting settled. And I turned my property into a place where I could skid logs, like literally I could yard logs. I built a big gate that I could open up so I drove a skid steer through it a number of times. I could bring logs back into my yard and I could saw them up and I could chop them and I could hew them. And I had chickens and I had goats and I just had all this stuff going on, and I had my workshop and all my lumber, and I moved down here and that's all gone, totally gone. And for the last year, I haven't been able to do anything like going out to get wood, going out to get logs. It was just, and it's interesting, like I realized how reliant I was on manual labor as a coping mechanism for just whatever, the stress of life. When things, whatever happens, I could always just go out and just absolutely beat myself into the ground, chopping wood, sawing logs, moving logs. I could go online and look for logs, and all of that was really good for an outlet. It was wonderful. And man, it's just been, it was an interesting realization that what happened to the goats and the other animals. Yes, I rehomed the goats. I found a great guy in North Georgia to pick them up. And the chickens went to another great guy in North Georgia. And this guy loves chickens. He took all of our chickens. And with some people, with free animals, I have learned you don't give animals away for free because you get bad people. And it's a strange thing, charging money gets you a better quality person, and actually I think more people. Charging money has that weird effect. I found the best guy. He actually bought our coop, and he bought all of our chickens in one go. And the goats went up to a guy who has horses and goats, and he's up near an apple orchard in North Georgia. So yeah, I had to rehome the goats because we didn't know where we were gonna be. And we couldn't have chickens and goats kind of dictating our lives. Like you can't really do that. It's kind of like buying a house because of your dog. That gets kind of difficult. Yeah, exactly. Find some friends. You have found timber framers, find some loggers and farmers. Exactly. Brian, it's interesting you say that. I went to a 4th of July event, and the first guy that I saw had he had a Wood Miser t-shirt on. And I got to talking to this guy about sawing lumber and doing all kinds of stuff. And it turns out that he has 90 acres in, if you know where Wisconsin is, it kind of goes like this, and there's a little thumb. This is all Sturgeon Bay up here. When they logged back in the 1800s, really, all the white pine forests were way up in the Upper Peninsula and way up north in Wisconsin. And the Wisconsin River goes through Wisconsin north to south, favoring the east. And then you can catch Green Bay and then Door County. They called it Door County because you can bring logs and lumber and ships through kind of the Sturgeon Bay area, and you can cross over the peninsula. Because if you have to go around the peninsula, it's too difficult. The navigation is bad. There's rocks, and it's just not good. So we were kind of up that way, and this guy mills lumber. Amazing. Like, I just ran into this guy. So yeah, they're out there. They're absolutely out there. So this guy was telling me about, I think he has an LT40, a Wood Miser LT40, and all he does is saw. He doesn't do anything but saw, and he's busy all day, like all day, every day. He's retired. He's one of those guys that retired and is working harder than ever. And he saws logs from his own land, and he saws logs for other people, and he wholesales to Milwaukee and all of these other places. And I thought, that's amazing. I want to go hang out with that guy. But anyways, all of that is in my future, I hope, at some point. I want to raise our own food. I want to have livestock, probably 4 or 5 cattle that we can process for our own beef. I want to go like self-sufficient, I can't believe what we allow companies to feed us, to call food. It blows my mind, and so I want to take control of that entirely. But yeah, so anyways, life is good. Life is great. The blessings are many. That was my grandpa. We got a cow recently. Been a great day. Oh, did you get a live cow, or did you buy the processed meat? Yeah, I'd be curious because I know you can buy a quarter of a cow, a half a cow. Both? Oh, that's amazing. I was thinking I'd probably get a freezer, maybe, do something that way. Yeah, let's see. I'm pretty sure this is rosewood. This is a marking gauge with a brass bottom here. And I'm going to put a new pin in it and use it again. I mean, this stuff is incredible. I'm so grateful to have it. Rosewood. Yeah, rosewood doesn't grow very large, but it's just harder than a coffin nail. The fence on this number 45 is also rosewood. It's just incredible. So anyways, I don't know. Guys, what's up with you all? I just wanted to pop in. I've been on here longer than I even thought I'd be. I thought I'm going to hop on for a few minutes and then I get to jabbering and 45 minutes later. Joey, Brian, Leroy, everybody out there, both Joeys actually. I hope you're all doing great. I hope life is wonderful in your neck of the woods. We had some tornadoes in South Wisconsin last night, or maybe it was 2 nights ago now. I mean, it was like real serious tornadoes. I don't know if anybody died, but I saw the footage of those tornadoes and they're just ripping through buildings and popping the cap off of gas station structures. So just incredible. Let's see. Oh, you got a limousine. Okay, I knew some guys growing up that had limousines. Man, those limousines could jump. They had tall fences. They had, 6-foot fences practically because they could pop right over. Oh, amazing. That's very cool. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And I have this crazy dream to hand make furniture that's good quality and to do it for affordable prices for people. That's what I want to do. I feel like, with the new house, we've been looking around for furniture and I am floored at what furniture costs. And it's all junk. It's all particle board. It's all that chipboard, not even veneered. It's just awful. And the prices that, $10,000 for a table. And it's like, who's paying that? Like, number one, I want to know who's paying that. And number two, I want to know why. Because I could build a heck of a table for $10,000. I mean, I could build a table that will last hundreds of years and you can refinish it 1,000 times for $10,000. Yeah, it's all junk. So I want to build good quality furniture for people and I want to use all of these old tools to do it. I think that a craftsman from 100 years ago who really knew how to use these tools is probably more efficient than somebody who builds them with all of their electronic tools and their power equipment and their flatteners and planers and jointers. America table. That's what I'm going to call it, the America table. Well, I was talking with a lady today when I was picking some stuff up at the Habitat Restore, and we were talking, and one thing I said, I think it's true, is I don't think in 50 years, I think in 50 years, antique stores and thrift stores are going to have the same stuff in it. I firmly believe that. I think in 50 years, either antique stores are going to go away or we will be recycling all of this vintage stuff. Black locust table, yeah. And you know what, AJ? There's a guy a long time ago got me thinking about this idea to plant black locust because it's so rot resistant, it's so strong, and it grows fast. And you can plant black locust on your property and harvest within 15 years. Good quality. I mean, it's not like pine harvested at 15 years and it's all just air. It's a sponge. Black locust at 15 to 20 years is mature and ready to be harvested. And then you can just keep doing that. It seemed like a great way to utilize some property. Plus, good trees. They're nice to have around. They look nice. They're not like cedar. I ran into a guy that has cedars, and those can be a little bit hard to have on your property because they get kind of scrubby. If you get a cedar that isn't managed properly, then it just becomes cedar brush, and it's not good for cattle. And anyway, it looks nice when you oil it. Yeah, I've never worked with it. I never have worked with black locust, but I'd really I'd really like to one day. I'd like to get some land, and I want that land to have some timber. I want it to have some livestock, and I want to be able to hunt it and fish it. Fishing would be nice. I guess hunting is primary, fishing is secondary, because I think it's hard to get land with all of that I just mentioned. Running water. Yeah, absolutely. Running water is critical, isn't it? If you don't have running water, you know, you're piping it in is difficult, expensive and difficult. So anyways, I don't know, building a life of self-sufficiency. So you want to see my garage? This is my first garage ever. I'm pretty excited about it. Check this out. I've never had a garage. Well, I had one tiny garage, and it was, you could barely open the door to get out of your car. Check out this slab of maple that I got here. Check this out. Here, I'm gonna fix you. I'm gonna fix you up a little bit. Check this out. This is a slab of curly maple, and if you didn't already see the price on it, you're gonna be floored. Look at this. I'm like, wow. I tell people I'm 6 foot, but I think I'm a quarter inch shy of 6 foot. So this is probably, what would this be? Yeah, that's about a thumb width wide, so that's maybe 3.5 inches. This is curly maple. So this is actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a top out of this curly maple for all of my sewing machine tables and then sell them at, I don't know, farmer's market, flea market, something like that. Or I might, I don't know. Sometimes it is the highest compliment that I can be offered if my wife wants to keep something I make. So if it's good enough, you know, we'll keep machine tabletops. Yes, yeah, that would be, yeah. I mean, it's hard wood. When I saw it, it was kind of dirty, but I immediately knew it was super dense. And somebody had actually laminated two. They did a really nice job. They laminated two of those hard maple boards together, and there's no gaps. It's really, really nice. So, oh, prepared survivalist. Yeah, we all want that. I know, right? Tons of juniper in Colorado. Mostly old timers use it as fence poles. Yeah, yep, exactly. Juniper would be great. You can make some gin out of it too. If you have a bathtub and some juniper, you can make some gin. Oh, wood bowls. Yeah, I haven't gotten into turning yet, but I'd like to one day. So yeah, guys, you want to see here? Check out these. You know, saw sets and mouse traps. You know, there's a million different variations of these saw sets. I got these all cleaned up. You look at this here. Look at the anvil there. This is how this functions. You look at that. And this one's actually really nice. It has a gauge on it, so you can go, and it's dark in here. I'm not that old, but it's just dark. It's stamped, but you can set these teeth here. I got this really cool spoke shave. This is I've never owned one of these, but I'd always thought they're cool, flat and around. So I got just a ton of stuff kicking around here to keep me busy. Man, in this box of tools, there were three saw sets. Look at each one of them is a very different. I mean, just incredible. I'm amazed by the variety of old tools that there are. You know, look at this saw set here. Look at this one here. Versus, you know, this guy. Incredible. I mean, just incredible. Does anybody know what this guy is? Before I go, we got some smart people on here. I have no idea what this is. Some kind of a gauge. I was thinking maybe a machinist tool, but look at this. Watch this. I don't know what this is. Oh, micrometer? Now, how would you use this? I'm so interested in that. That's fascinating. I probably already screwed it up. Machining, yeah, man, I would love to know how this is used, because what would rotate this That's so interesting. A lathe? Oh, could be. Could be. There's no marking on it. There's no manufacturer's stamping at all. It's just purely the dial. And you know, you hold it like this, and so I'm thinking, okay, what does that do? I don't know. I'm fascinated. Oh, a tachometer? See, I mean, the people on my channel are brilliant. See, yeah, I could see it being a tachometer. Well, oh man, would that be? Because that would make sense if it's rotating like that. But I don't know. I'm probably messing it up just by screwing with it. You know, I have learned if I don't know what something is, that's a bad time to screw with it. You know, so it's probably some precision equipment, and I've just ruined it by messing with it and use it with the mag base and put it right in the workpiece. Interesting. That's so cool. There's amazing things in here. There's amazing stuff, and I'm looking forward to restoring it. But all right, guys. So, anyways, we're in Wisconsin. Life is good. You know, life is good. I'm happy to be in the Badger State, and I'm real curious about what the future holds. So I'll keep everybody posted, and yeah. So stay tuned for the next notes from the underground. Urban Lumberjack. I don't know if I'm urban anymore. I'm a little bit more rural. Oh, interesting. Figure feeds and speeds. Oh, that's fascinating. So it's sensitive to the motion. Oh, you'd have to track. Yeah, okay. You'd have to track how much it, yeah, okay. I get it. I'm following. I'm a little bit slow. You got to give me a little time. You know what? I'll get there eventually. But I tell you what, I have learned that my superpower is I am just a little bit dumb and just a little bit smart, you know? Just a little bit smart. Like, I would consider myself like minimum viability in that area. And here's the superpower. I think it's great to be like barely smart enough, because I never think that I know something because I am just that smart. I have noticed with intelligent people, with very intelligent people, they have a hard time with that. I mean, they really do. They think they know stuff, and it comes back to bite them. I mean, I've seen it happen time and time again. So anyways, Wisconsin, best deer hunting state. I am so excited to try some deer hunting here. I hunted in South Dakota growing up, and then the farmer that I hunted his land. I didn't know him so much as I knew his in-laws, and the in-laws and him had a falling out, and I lost my deer hunting spot. Which was really sad, because I couldn't ever find it. So I hunted public land, but I never had any luck in South Dakota with public land. There just isn't any public land with deer on it in the whole state of South Dakota. Here, it seems like it's pretty good, and you can get a good lease, a good hunting lease, for not a whole lot of money. If you go full woodworking, at some point you'll have to forge your own tools. Yes, and you know, interesting you mentioned that. One of these planes had an iron, it's a scrub plane, and he made an iron from an old file. I was a wannabe machinist at one point. Yeah, I mean, that's golly, machinist, yeah. Machinists are worth their weight in gold. I mean, absolutely worth their weight in gold. One of those gears on my beam drill is getting a little bit long in the tooth, and I thought of having a gear made by a machinist, but I don't know what that would cost, or if anybody would even do it. Getting harder and harder to find good machinists out there. They're really not making too many more of them. But guys, wow, I learned a lot. I learned a heck of a lot. I figured out what those chamfer gauges are. This is a tool that I think is really neat. It's wow, and it's It's well designed. Everything's tight in it. Very, very nice tool. Cool, guys. All right, so I'm gonna sign off here. Everybody that hung out, thanks for being here. And I tell you what, we'll catch you for the next one. So, all right. Good night, guys.